um, the inability of the Senate to move forward on the president's nomination just as one sign of it, refusal to move forward as a sign of that. As a private citizen, how worried are you that our ability to maintain a dialogue and to reason through our differences by means of law and by means of civility, how worried are you that that's not going to last?
It's probably like most of us. We don't know. You know, I mean, it's a half full, half empty. Everybody knows that. When I worked for Senator Kennedy, who worked very well with the Republicans, worked very well with people who didn't share his beliefs one little bit. But he did share a belief with them, and I think that's true. That whatever their politics, 98%, maybe 100%, are there in public life, and nobody believes this. You're not going to believe this answer, but I believe it. They're there in part because they want to do something good for the country. I think and they have different views of what it should be. And when people say, well, aren't they not cooperating? Why are they doing what they're doing? I say, my friend, look in the mirror. If they're not reflecting what people want, they're not going to be in office very long. So it's a problem that goes beyond just the people who happen to be holding offices, in my opinion. And you can look at the negative side, but then last night I heard a talk from a person who was describing general attitudes well beyond his particular part of the political spectrum. And he's very knowledgeable about environmental problems. And I went away, he was giving me chapter and verse, thinking, you know, we're in a kind of wagon here that's rolling forward, and it's rolling forward in the direction of doing something about them. And it's unturnable, probably. So every time I hear something bad, I hear something good. And that isn't surprising because, I mean, I guess as you get older, you think, there we are, that's sort of life, you know. And it has its ups and downs. And I have confidence. If you didn't have confidence, that's what we're supposed to have. It's corny, but it's true. I mean, most Americans have confidence in Americans. And we think when we get into terrible messes and into terrible trouble, nonetheless, we can turn, even if it's on a dime, and we can put forward constructive attitudes. And we can try to work together, and that's what I learned in, not Lowell, but in Grant School, in the 5th grade, in Miss Guadaguaz's class, where I hope they still have this, but she put together projects. We'd be working on a project. The history of San Francisco, for example, and you're graded on that project, not individually, but as a group, and therefore you better listen to what others are saying. And we're supposed to be somewhat good at that, and it's called cooperation.